publish stuff, various anthologies. Sorry, my cats are being so weird. Hello everybody, welcome back to Amber Unabridged. I'm Amber, and this is another Short Story Sunday. Today I'm bringing to you a short story from the collection Tales for a Rainy Night. I don't remember where I picked this copy up. It had to have been some sort of sale. This is clearly an old copy. It was published in 1961. It's an anthology from the Mystery Writers of America, the 14th anthology, apparently, and it was edited by David Alexander. Today, I'm going to be talking about a story called The Human Chair by Edogawa Rampo, translated by James B. Harris. The author is a well-known Japanese suspense writer. His name is a nom de plume. If you say it in Japanese, that's how they say Edgar Allan Poe. It's not lost on me that I start reading a collection of short stories that isn't specifically by a Japanese author, and the first story that I'm talking about is by a Japanese author. Listen, you come to my channel for a reason, and that's one of them probably. I love Japanese authors. It's a good time. Sometimes. Alright, so, come sit with me for a minute. Let's just get nice and cozy. And imagine that you're an author. You might actually be an author. That'd be pretty cool. Let's also say that you're a woman, on the off chance that you're not. And you are sitting down to read your fan mail, and you read, a bunch of nice, shorter, thank you so much for writing your story about blah blah blah, I really love it, you changed my life, and I can always turn to your stories when I need a pick-me-up. Awesome! Cool! Good times! And then you get to this whole ass manuscript looking envelope, and you're in for a ride. You start reading about this guy who starts off by saying that he's extremely ugly, and he hopes that you, an incredible artist, will, get a chance to look at him at some point. He'll get to that part. And he goes into how he doesn't have a lot of skills. He's, again, very ugly. He goes on about it for a bit. He is truly detestable to look at, according to him. And you're reading, and he's telling you about how his only skills are that he's a craftsman, as a carpenter, that he makes chairs. For some reason, only chairs. I don't know why he doesn't make tables also. I feel like if you make chairs, you can make tables, probably. Maybe that's just my non-carpenterness speaking, but I feel like they're relevant skills, and usually you could do both. Anyway, that's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Just the way he was talking about some of the chairs that he would make, I was like, he can make a table too. So he's going on about how he's very skilled as a carpenter, as he makes chairs. People seek him out. They commission certain works. And he was contacted by this Western-style hotel to make a leather chair. It sounded like it was kind of like a Lazy Boy, but without the recliner. So he makes this leather chair, and it's going to be going to this hotel. And he says that as he was making it, for the artistry, he decides that he wants to see if he can make a space inside the chair to sit in for himself, that he can be in the chair, inside of the chair, and then it be used as a chair. So that's what he does. He talks about the preparations that he has to make to be able to spend 3 days at a time in this chair, right? He even says something about having a rubber bag, for after all the snacks he eats or the water or whatever. Oh man, this is so weird. So he's talking about how he built himself into this chair and how the chair gets delivered to the hotel and it's in the lobby. And he is able to observe a lot of different people. And he talks about how when people sit on you, you everybody sits differently. Everyone has a different feel to them, and especially the women. And then he talks about having different love affairs with all of these women because he's never been able to get this physically close to a woman before because he's so incredibly ugly. None of them know he's there, and all there is a thin layer of leather in between them while they're sitting on his knees. And every time he mentions that, I think about how if I was sitting on someone's knees, it would certainly feel differently than if I was sitting on a cushioned chair. Maybe that's just me. I feel like they feel different. So he's talking about how even though he actually only built himself into this chair so that he could sneak out at night and go rob the different people in the hotel, he becomes addicted to all of these different little love affairs that he's having with these women who don't know he exists. If you're not thoroughly creeped out by now, you should be. So then he talks about how the hotel got sold to a Japanese man, and the hotel's going to get renovated to be more of a Japanese style, and this leather chair, which is very Western stylized, it's stylized in a very Western way, isn't going to fit in the new aesthetics. So they're selling it to a furniture resale store. And while he's at the store, he's thinking, man, how great would it be if I got purchased by a Japanese family, specifically one that where a woman resides, so that he can have a relationship with her, since all of the women in the hotel, the Western style hotel, were all Western women. They didn't really speak Japanese, and he felt like they couldn't really connect. You know, I feel like it's very difficult to have a meaningful relationship through a leather barrier, especially when one of the people doesn't know that the other person exists. That's just my opinion. So he's hoping and hoping that he ends up with a Japanese family, and lo and behold, a Japanese man comes in, buys the chair for his wife, and he takes the chair. And the guy in the chair is, again, telling this author how he was so happy because he finally felt like he could connect to this woman, and he just fell absolutely head over heels in love with her, and it was making him mad. Not like angry mad, but like crazy mad. Like, we're all mad here that she didn't know he existed, that he was in this love affair all on his own. So he decided that he had to reach out and let her know, because all he wants is for her to see him one time. One time. So he writes her a letter to explain himself. And it's the author reading the letter. So naturally, at this point, you as the author would be freaked out, right? Well, our author was certainly freaked out. He said that he left the chair, that he was outside. He couldn't face the idea that she would just see him and he would be surprised. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, if you're not bathing and you're going to the bathroom in your own space, I wouldn't want someone I love to see me like that either. And again, I wouldn't like hole up inside of a chair, but to each their own. So she's trying to figure out if he's actually outside, if she's being stalked, what's going on. And her housekeeper brings her a letter, and it's from the same guy. And she's like, oh my god. And it's much shorter. It's just a brief little paragraph. My cat has the zoomies. And so this new letter from the guy, same handwriting, so she recognizes it as him, says, I apologize. I'm not actually in your chair. I never have been. I really love your writing, and I am an aspiring author, and this is a fiction that I wrote that I would really love your opinion on. And all I knew is that your husband bought you this chair, and so I wrote this story based on that. And I'm sitting here like, first of all, that's still kind of stalkery. That's still kind of fucking weird, okay? Second, why are you trying to impress this author by scaring the shit out of her? You don't take away somebody's peace of mind just to get a good review. If somebody takes away my peace of mind, I'm intentionally telling them that they're shit. Even if they did it very well, I don't appreciate that kind of sass. Some sass is okay. That sass is not okay. So that's our story. Yeah, this story, it was certainly creepy. It was really interesting to read. As weird as it is, I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4 stars in my journal. It was a good time. It was a weird time. It was a very strange time, but I enjoyed it. So yeah, those are my thoughts. That's my summary and review. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. How would you feel if someone told you they were hiding in your furniture? How would you react? What would be your response? Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.